So welcome to lecture 11 of machine learning training program, and in this particular lecture we're going to talk about how we can solve a problem that is related to this particular line of code. Okay, all these line of code that we have. Okay, so the problem first of all is that the above lines of code are is always producing a new random numbers, and if we are making projects together, then your numbers will be different and my numbers will be different every time. Okay, so that is why we are going to use something known as seed here to make our code, to make our result same as we have right now. Okay, so that is why there is something called as seed, where your output and my output is going to be same every time by having a same seed value. So let's talk about it. So first of all, let's write it here that we use seed, we use seed value in seed method to make random output numbers same. Okay, for your IDE, and for mine IDE. Okay, so let's talk about it. So basically this is something called as np.random first of all, and then this is something called as seed. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is going to accept two number here, a seed value here, and make sure you type 42. Okay, you can type 35, you can type anything that you want, but make sure that whatever you're typing, it should be same as me. I'm typing 42 for now, so that is why you should also write 42 to get the same value as ours. Once you implement this code, then you can change your seed value if you want and check what is the output after that. Okay, so let's move forward. And one more thing, make sure that whatever you're going to write further for the to create the random number, it should be run in the same cell. Okay, same cell. Okay, so that is why type np.random. okay, np.random, and then it is going to have that rand, np.random.rand, and it will be having 4 here. Okay, then you can run this code and you will get the exact random numbers as me. Okay, you will get the exact random numbers as me. You'll be having 0.37, 95 and 731. Okay, and after that you will say np dot, let's try something here. If I copy this code and run the code here again, it is again going to give you the exact random number as me, but a different one. Okay, again if you run this code, it is going to give you the exact random number as me, but a different one. Okay, so that is why whenever you're going to implement it, just make sure whenever we are going to use the random numbers, okay, we're going to have the seed. First of all, we're going to have the same seed value, and then we're going to move forward, and after that, after the project, you can play along with the projects. Okay, so now let's talk about more attributes and methods. Okay, and more useful attributes. Okay, more useful attributes and methods. So first thing we're going to talk about is the what, reshaping the 1D vector, okay, into any shape we want. Okay, 1D vector into any shape we want. If I'll say ARR is equal to np.arange, it is going to give you a random, it is not random, it is going to give you the numbers between 0 and 24, and it is going to store that into the ARR variable. Okay, and now if you'll check ARR, then it is going to have the array between 0 and 24. You know that, right? And after that, if we check the shape of it, ARR shape, so it is going to give you what is the shape of this particular array. So it is a 1D array, so that is why it is just giving you the number of elements in the form of tuples. Okay, if you're confused why it is comma here, why the only is comma, because it is because tuples cannot store single element. If it is a single element, then it is going to show you as an integer output. Okay, it is the only case in tuple that it never stores single element, and if you are storing a single element in a tuple, then it is going to give you the integer as an output. Okay, so whenever you want, whenever you need, or whenever you think that the number of elements are going to get increased in the tuple, so you're going to you have to put a comma after that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the ARR of shape. Okay, I'm going to change the ARR of shape, the shape of ARR. Okay, so if I say ARR dot reshape here, and if I say 5,5, it is going to give you the output as we needed. Okay, it is going to give you the reshape version of this particular ARR, which is having 25 elements into the 5x5 matrix. But make sure that it is not going to work in the shape that doesn't make sense. Let's say we are having 6,3. Now it is not going to give you the result. It is going to give you the error. Why? Because the number of elements that you have are 25 in this array, and you are saying you want the matrix of 6x3. That means 18 elements you want. And since the size of the array is greater than whatever size that you are expecting, that is why it is going to give you the error there. Okay, so that is why it is going to give you the error that cannot reshape array of size 25 into shape 6,3, because 6,3 array can only have 18 elements in it. Okay, it can only have 18 elements in it. If I say 25 by 25, again it is going to give you an error, because it is having the shape of 25 and you are giving the 125 as your array size. Okay, so that is why whatever the shape you are going to give, just make sure that you're giving some sensible shape according to the number of elements that you want. Okay, that are there. Okay, now let's talk about something called as min, max, argmax, and argmin. Min, max, argmax, and argmin. It's a very simple concept, not a very difficult one. Let's say we have an array called RANARR, and we are going to, this time what we are going to do, we are going to create the random numbers between 0 and 50, and it will be having 10 elements in it. Okay, so what we'll do, np.random.rand int, and I'll say 0, 50, and I'll say 10 here. Okay, so now ran ARR is having the elements, the random numbers between sorry, it's a double R, the random numbers between the, just a second, the random numbers between the 0 and 50, and it is having 10 elements in it. Okay, it's a very random number. Okay, now if you want that I want the largest number of this particular collection of elements. Okay, so if I'll say ran ARR dot max, okay, then it is going to give you the largest value that exists in your in your array, the largest value that exists in your array. In the same way, if I'll say okay, and remember, max is giving you the value that exists. That means 43. That means since it is a very small one, let's say you are having 1,000 element in an array, it is going to give you the largest of it. It is going to grab the largest element of it automatically by using max. And now if I say RANARR dot argmax, what it is going to do, it is going to grab the index number of the largest value. Okay, index number of the largest value. So let's run this code and I'll say 0. Since it is having 43 also, but the first occurrence is going to be there, it is going to grab the first occurrence. So it is giving you the index as 0. That means at 0 index position, you will have the largest value. And if you want to know the value, then you can say max. If you want to know the index number, it is going to give you 0. Okay, and it's the same way. If you want to implement something known as the min here, you can also implement the min. It is going to grab the minimum value from your collection of array, and here is the case of 1. Okay, and if you want the minimum index number, at what index position your argument is there, at what index position your values there, it is going to give you the index position here. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. At third index position, it is having the minimum value. Okay, so that's it for the NumPy basics. In the next lecture, we are going to talk about some advanced stuff related to NumPy. Not very advanced, don't worry, because these kind of libraries are only make sense when you're going to use in your projects. I'm just making you familiar with these. Okay, don't worry too much about it. Just move forward and you will be understanding everything. Don't worry, it takes time sometimes, but for now I know that you have understood everything. I know that, but if you have any problem, just put that in the discussion forum. I'm going to answer that, okay, in 24 hours. So let's end this. We'll meet in the next video.